We all have different things that we've grown up with in life. This could be anything, like a certain book series like Harry Potter, or video games like Pokémon, or maybe even TV shows like SpongeBob. And whatever it is that we grew up with has also had a massive effect on our life and the way we are. Whether it's anything from our humor to maybe our ideas, or maybe the way we act individually at specific times, or maybe our decision making. All of these things are things affected by our childhood, especially by the media that we consume. Now, I previously have talked a little bit about how people like Shaggy Connery and Shady Penguin have essentially had an effect on how I grew up, but there is one content creator that stands above all else when it comes to my childhood. Let me introduce you to Eriel, MunchingOrange Rivera. MunchingOrange is a content creator and YouTuber who primarily focuses on Pokémon Let's Plays. Whenever a new Pokemon game is released, he tends to play through the game and essentially try to show as much as possible about the content in the game. This normally leads to him essentially 100%ing the games whilst being entertaining about it and creating some pretty interesting teams that he uses throughout his playthroughs. Whilst a lot of people end their playthroughs at just beating the game, it doesn't really go further than that. He shows everything, whether it's just some post-game content or how to get every TM in the game. He wants to showcase everything. And that is something I actually personally really appreciate, and always appreciated as a kid, as it showed the amount of content that a game had that you might not notice from just playing it regularly or from just playing it from the surface. This made it so I had a deeper understanding and love for Pokemon games like Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which are my favorite Pokemon games to this day, with his Let's Play of Pokemon Heart Gold and Pokemon Soul Silver being my favorite Let's Play of all time when it comes to Pokemon. But even then, there's other content that he has made that has really intrigued me. I, for example, really started committing to actively watching his channel after watching his Munchcraft series, where he plays Minecraft. And even outside of that, there's other content he has created which has become some of my favorite, like his Minecraft Hunger Games video where he joined in on a Hunger Games server and accidentally won. Yeah, that happens to some people. Even outside of that, he has collaborated with some content creators that are some of my favorite even today, like A-Drive and his Cage Lock Let's Plays, where they do essentially battle after every single gym whilst doing a Nuzlocke simultaneously. With, on top of that, some other limitations. However, if you want to really get into that, you should just watch the series. They're generally really good. He has collaborated with Shady Penguin in the sense of that they had a Wi-Fi battle. I think the one that hits closest home to me is a different one that we'll be getting into later, because it is my favorite Let's Play of all time. Yeah, this guy had a huge effect on my life. I've actually watched MunchingOrange since he created his channel, as the first Pokemon Black Let's Play I ever watched was his Let's Play of Pokemon Black and White. And that was huge for me, because I actually ended up getting the games and played through the games with a pretty similar team to his. And that wasn't really intentional, I just thought the Pokemon he used were cool and wanted to use similar Pokemon. And I think the fact that I really enjoyed this Let's Play along with other Let's Plays like his Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver Let's Play has really grown a lot on me over time. I think the fact that I love Pokemon as much as I do also has its hand in it. You see, Pokemon was the first game ever I played, and so a big part of my life has been based around wanting to continue that love for the franchise. Whilst I don't play Pokemon super actively anymore, and I don't necessarily have the same love for the franchise I used to have, as it's not even close to my favorite video game franchise anymore, whilst it used to be when I was younger, I still think it has a place in my heart that's irreplaceable. I think due to the way that I grew up with it and content creators surrounding the game, that it's gonna be hard to compete with that, and that's lovely. Something else I really liked was his personality and humor. He would always joke around and at times maybe go in directions that maybe weren't as mature. Like, for example, naming a Golduck Seaman, which, yeah, or a Crobat Batwank, or essentially naming a Leavanny after a literal adult video website. Yeah, that was interesting. But I think it worked pretty well because of the way he played it off. He normally added it into humor or just didn't mention it at all. So if you were like me, a kid from a non-English speaking country, and essentially just didn't know what words like wank meant, you just saw Batwank and thought that was a funny name. The way that his humor worked didn't only work well because of that. His humor actually worked really well the way he collaborated with friends. There's one Let's Play in particular I want to mention here. You see, in August 2012, he would release the series that would end up being my favorite series of all time, that being Munchcraft Ticket, where he collaborated with Jeffrotex and Yoshito Mario, who were two other pretty formidable creators in the space. Yoshito Mario prioritizing and focusing on Minecraft Let's Playing content, and Jeffrotex focusing more so on like Pokémon top 10s and such. This is a series I loved for a very long time, and I always wanted to see a continuation on it. And it was pretty fun to watch through this series of them just messing around as friends, making jokes, and laughing around about things. And I feel like I want to show you some clips because I can't really describe why it's funny. It works better if you show a joke than if you describe a joke.
Hey Dylan, you should whisper, because that's how you make videos in the Dylan
Shut
show.
up, it's not fair. You always record at night when I have to whisper.
Hello. Are you whispering right now?
No. But I'm just saying the majority of the time.
Come on.
Why aren't you whispering?
Fans. All of your fans that want that whispering, they're not getting it, and they're
all of those Dora viewers. They're like, man, this guy sure sounds enthusiastic.
That Let's Play was good. It's just the people that were attracted to the Let's Play by search results are kind of not nice.
Are you saying you are not a fan of children?
It's not children. There are some very angry parents and cousins and sisters.
Hi, for people that don't know, this guy is Jethrotex, and he did a playthrough of Dora on YouTube, and you should watch it, maybe.
You should.
And also watch it with your niece. And if you're watching it with your niece, make sure she's wearing a helmet. Alright, so let me set a stage for you here. There's my stage of dirt.
I love it.
Swagger Jagger.
Oh!
Swagger Jagger. You can get some of your own till the game on. Ba, 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 ba.
No! I hate you guys. Why am I back here?
And I think this type of humor and collaboration between his friends, the way they would play off of each other, essentially made it work really well. And I think that's why I ended up growing so fond of this Let's Play. There are a few times where I've watched a Let's Play and thought, I want to watch back at that, I want to look through it again. And the few times I have normally not finished the Let's Play when watching it again. This Let's Play, on the other hand, is actually the only Let's Play I've watched fully twice all the way through. And I think that's what's so fantastic about it. The way I could look back at it and rewatch it, sure, I rewatched it 10 years later, last year, but it still doesn't change that I rewatched it and still enjoyed it in a scenario where I normally didn't do that, nor would I enjoy them as much on the second watch. And I think the fact I enjoyed it even more on my second watch due to some jokes I didn't understand as a kid, I think it aged really well, actually aged better than most other Let's Plays I've ever seen. And that's something I find very dear to me in a way. You see, MunchingOrange is the creator that inspired me to do content creation. I actually started off YouTube doing Minecraft and Pokemon Let's Plays. And I think this Let's Play in itself, especially at the time, was one of the biggest inspirations for me. I started YouTube in 2011, and I think this video by MunchingOrange was a big reason to why I really got into it at that time. This series is my favorite Let's Play series of all time, and there are a variety of reasons to why. Because of that, I highly recommend it. But overall, I recommend almost any content on MunchingOrange's channel because I just enjoy his content a lot. Whilst I don't watch him as much now as an adult, I still go back and watch him from time to time, and I still enjoy his content whenever I do. And I think that's kind of wonderful, but I also think a part of it is nostalgia. In all honesty, I think it's kind of nice to be able to sometimes just sit back and watch something from your childhood. And I think it's even better if you still enjoy it, which I do. That's also where I want to end this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'll see you guys later. Bye.